Hi, I'm Jim Stevenson. I'm a Divisional Director for Aston Lark Insurance Brokers, and I'm here to take on the SoGlos 10 Questions Challenge. Aston Lark's an advisory business. We're primarily commercial insurance brokers, but we also provide advice on employee benefits and also private clients insurance for discerning individuals. Question 1. We recently celebrated the first anniversary of Aston Lark in Cheltenham. How have we found our first year in Gloucestershire? Well, what a year it's been. I've lived and worked in Gloucestershire in Cheltenham for 15 years. I agreed to join Aston Lark in January 2020, just before the pandemic arrived. So by the time I arrived at Aston Lark in April, my first day started working from home, and we had 1,000 people outside of 30 offices, all working from home. The business had transformed. We originally started with nothing. I had a covenant with my former employer I couldn't breach, so I was starting from a very clean desk. I was really reliant in the early days in some really strong connections I've established over the years. In October, I took over the Birmingham office as well. So Cheltenham's a brand new startup, and Birmingham's a much bigger office. It's one of the biggest in the group. So I have little and large in my empire. Yeah, we've done really well here. Thankfully, businesses seem to have thrived. Some of my connections have been doing really well, advising their clients during lockdown. We've achieved all our objectives in year one, which is great. Second question is, what's been the biggest changes in the insurance sector over the past year? The most high profile thing I think has been there's a legal challenge launched by our regulator, the FCA, about business interruption cover for coronavirus and pandemic during lockdown. So that was literally the FCA dragging insurers screaming and kicking into court to clarify the intentions and the wordings of their policies and whether they were going to pay. It took the Supreme Court to actually decide that, which is unprecedented in our industry. Similarly, at the same time, we've been dealing with a hard market, which is where insurers find themselves in a situation where they're focused on profit rather than growth. They tend to deeply analyse their existing book and push the prices up, and they're not particularly competitive on new business. That means that demand for insurance from our clients exceeds supply, and we have to navigate our way through to actually find some good outcomes for customers. So if you take those two in tandem, the reputation of the industry has been a quite difficult one over the last 12 months, and we've got a real issue with re-establishing trust and making sure that policies do what they say they're going to do and customers get the outcomes they need. Third question, how popular has our COVID-19 business recovery toolkit been? So this was an online resource that our risk management team put together. It's on our website, and it's absolutely free materials, advice, various templates and forms helping businesses to get through the pandemic. Originally it was focused on very much health and safety and employee relations and communications, and just understanding how insurance would work. But we've broadened it out, so we've actually introduced complementary services as well. So another local firm, Hazelwoods, they also have a road to recovery outfit on how to plan through the finances through this position. We've signposted that, and they signpost back to ours as well. So it's a real good collaborative effort there. Fourth question, Cheltenham's a hub for all things cyber. How important is cyber insurance for Aston Lark? Cyber's the real hot topic in our industry at the moment. We've been talking to clients for years about it, but they seem to think that cyber problems are going to happen to bigger businesses and they're immune to it. Not wishing to give anybody ideas, but if I was a disaffected employee and I wanted to hit back to my employer who hadn't looked after me particularly well during furlough, or I felt unfairly made redundant, I couldn't steal anything because there's nothing around in the office at the moment, but client data is quite valuable, so I could help myself to that, and that's a cyber breach. Setting fire to the building would be no use because that's just going to hurt the landlord, and the company doesn't need the building at the moment, they're working from home. So actually shutting down their systems, now then they've got a real problem on their hands. Cyber's a very real threat. People think it's some faceless hoodie in a bedroom or some foreign superpower. Actually, cyber criminals are indiscriminate, and they're quite happy to attack any businesses. Or just an accident, a simple click on the wrong attachment to an email and you're infected. So businesses all have a cyber risk. Whether you want the absolute best policy on the market, try and get something, because it's the one risk at the minute that we see developing, and it's the most uninsured. Aston Lark have been awarded Chartered Insurance Broker status by the Chartered Insurance Institute. What does this mean? Well, the Chartered Insurance Institute is our industry body. They kind of steer the professionalism of the industry, our training and development of staff. It's the most prestigious award for an organisation in our trade to be given that chartered status. It guarantees that you're talking to a well-trained expert who has the highest standards of ethics and professional standards. Question 6, what's the most unusual thing I've ever insured? A colleague of mine was asked to do a house insurance that was adorned with a Banksy. How you set a value on a Banksy, I'm not really sure, but that was quite an unusual one. I insured Jules Holland's piano at an event once, which was quite unusual. I actually covered a building that was about to be knocked down. It was a demolition contract works policy. Very unusual, but the steel frame that the contractor who was dismantling it wanted to take away was being used in lieu of a price for that contract. And had it been damaged by fire and therefore useless and scrapped, there would have been about a £600,000 cost to the developer. Okay, question 7. What's the biggest business challenge in the year to come for us? Well, we're still a new business, so I'm still building the brand in Gloucestershire. Winning new clients is clearly going to be the lifeblood of our office. In the hard market we talked about earlier, getting clients reasonable outcomes is very important to us. I guess balancing player manager for me. I look after my own clients, but I also run 2 offices. Helping our clients to survive as the economic health of our businesses that we look after governs how successful we are. As long as they're okay, then so are we. Question 8. What do you love most about doing business in Gloucestershire? Many people have said it's a really well-connected business community. It's like a business village here, and that's true, I think. You are only 2 or 3 handshakes or probably Zoom calls at the moment from somebody who can help you. I'm enjoying having a reputation here from my previous job, but also launching a new brand, which is quite exciting. It's a success story during what's been a difficult year, and people have been very supportive, and I've got a lot to be grateful for. Question 9, what do I enjoy when I'm not working? Okay, so the things I indulge myself in, I like a bit of golf, skiing, love some rugby. My family's really important to me, probably should have put them first. But yeah, we're just about off on a camping trip in Wales. We'll be walking the dog and playing on the beach, which is all good stuff. And the last question's the easy one really. What's the one thing I can't live without? I think it is that family support unit and having fun outdoors. That's where we seem to really enjoy ourselves. And thankfully that we haven't lost that through the pandemic, and we look forward to going back to some of the things we love doing.